Hello everyone, I'm Johnny with Talking XP, and in this video we'll be going over a brief description of the pre-gen characters that are currently available in Candela Obscura's Quick Start Guide, the character creation process in general, and how to level up your characters. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to the channel and like this video. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I'll make sure to answer them. Hopefully you've already watched my previous video about your character sheet. If you haven't yet, make sure to check it out to understand how characters work and the mechanics of the game. So, let's take a look at all of the roles and specialties that are currently available in the Quick Start Guide and what they do. I will only be briefly touching on each of the roles and specialties in this video to give you an idea of what the character is about. If you want to get a more in-depth spotlight on each of the specialties, check out my other videos where we talk about each of their abilities and how to properly use your character. Alright, let's get started. First up being the face. The face is the type of role that excels in conversations with NPCs, whether that be persuading, misdirection, or lying. This role is best found in the front lines of the group whenever entering a social interaction. The only ability currently available for the face in the Quick Start Guide is I Know a Guy, which allows the face once per assignment to know a person that can give more information about something relating to the investigation that they're currently on. However, in Critical Role's How to Play video, they showed the other two abilities of the face. So now we know the other two face abilities, which are Sweet Talk and Cool Under Pressure. Sweet Talk allows the face to add an additional die to any read rolls made against someone that they are making small talk with. And should they have 2 or more resistance points available, the die is a gilded die. Cool Under Pressure allows the face to use Cunning Drive points for any type of roll if the GM has said that this roll is a high stakes roll. Under the face, we have 2 specialties, the Journalist and the Magician. In the Quick Start Guide, we only have partial information for the Magician. However, the Journalist was the specialist shown in CR's how-to video, which means we know all of its abilities as well. So, starting with the Magician. A person that plays a magician wants to be the charismatic character that specializes in distractions and misdirections while simultaneously holding a few real magic tricks up their sleeves. If you watch the Candela Obscura stream, Charlotte Eves is the magician that is played by Anjali Bhamani. As for the Journalist, a person that wants to play a journalist wants to be able to spot lies in people's stories, have a good eye for things out of place, and use their press credentials to get info that typical people don't have access to. Moving on to the Muscle role. This role excels in maneuvering through danger and, when the situation arises, fighting the danger. The Muscle is best suited for leading the circle through unknown territory or into a dangerous fight. Under the Muscle role, there are 2 specialties. The Soldier, which unfortunately there are no pre-gen characters of the Soldier, so we don't have any information about the Soldier just yet. But we also have the Explorer. A person that plays an Explorer wants to be able to move and strike with high precision, track enemies that may have escaped, or aid your circle members with your physical prowess and field experience. The Scholar role excels in analyzing pieces of evidence or recalling relevant information. The Scholar works best at using their education to connect the dots and solve the mystery at hand. Under the Scholar, there are 2 specialties. However, once again, with the Doctor, we currently don't have any information since it wasn't one of the pre-gen characters to choose from, but more information will be coming soon, I'm sure. For now, anyone that wants to play the Professor specialty, that's a person that wants to be able to find and recall important information better than any other, create chemical concoctions that aid the investigation, and have a strong mind against brain marks. In the stream, Howard Margrove is a professor that is played by Robbie Daymond. The Slink is a role that prefers to operate in the shadows while closely observing the areas that they operate in for hidden information. The Slink works best as the one who scouts ahead unseen and reports back with new information, or makes the tense moves to gather items without being caught. Similar to the other roles, the first specialty, the Detective, is currently unavailable. However, the criminal is one of the pre-gen characters, and a person that plays a criminal wants to be able to leverage a NPC's wants to persuade them to give more information. They use their street smarts to aid the circle's awareness of their surroundings, and they are an overall skilled person. In the streamed game, Augie James is a criminal played by Ashley Johnson. And finally, the Weird is a role that has a deep connection to the magic of the beyond. They use this connection to gain additional knowledge into phenomenon and to aid the investigation in ways that weren't readily available to the average person. Under the Weird, the medium specialty isn't one of the pre-gen characters to choose from. However, though we don't have all of the information of the medium, Arlo Black is a medium that is played by Laura Bailey. I'll continue to watch the stream and I'll create a separate video detailing everything that I find in terms of abilities and action points and drive points, etc. And finally, a person that wants to play the occultist specialty wants to be able to wound magical beings even when they may be invisible, use their extraordinary senses to understand phenomena, and use their senses to also aid the circle to find answers. Now that you have a basic idea for each role and specialty, let's talk about how you can get your character made and ready to play for your circle's first investigation. Of course, the first step is to choose your role and specialty that best fits the idea that you have for your character. For example, I'm going to be choosing the muscle role and the explorer specialty. After choosing your role and specialty, you must choose one of the 2 specialist abilities that are currently available to you. Currently on the pre-gen characters, they only have 1 out of the 3 role abilities available, so this is already chosen for you. The other 2 abilities will become available on the full game release. Similarly, only 2 of the 6 specialty abilities are currently available. Some of these hidden abilities have been used in the most recent Candela Obscura stream. However, these must come with a grain of salt because Spencer Stark, one of the creators of Candela Obscura, told me via Twitter that they're using their streams as a playtesting opportunity to check the balance of certain abilities and mechanics. So if you see another ability that isn't listed, just know that it might be a little overpowered or a little underpowered. Just keep that in mind. For my explorer, I'm going to be choosing the tenacious ability that allows me to gild an additional die on move, strike, and control rolls when I have 1 or more bleed marks while in danger. After choosing your abilities, you finish up your character by adding their name, their pronouns, and their style. For my explorer, their name will be Todd Schilling, their pronouns he, him, and they usually are wearing a dirtied button-down shirt that is almost always opened up, revealing an equally dirtied tank top. He wears cargo pants and military boots, mainly for the necessity of the job, where he goes around the battlegrounds of the Great War, investigating and exploring. Then you will go a little deeper to describe your catalyst event. This is an event that caused your character to join Candela Obscura. Todd's catalyst happened when he was exploring an old infirmary from the Great War. Rumors had said that every person within the infirmary disappeared one day, never to be seen again. As Todd entered the site with his crew, they had felt an odd tinge in the air, something Todd now understands as magic. A few hours passed and the crew unearthed a perfectly shaped cube with unknown writings on it. A moment later, the crew had disappeared until Todd found himself back in the site, though surrounded by people and strange devices. Candela Obscura had come quickly to investigate this surge in magic. For Todd, it only felt like a second had passed, but for the real world, nearly a week had gone by. Candela Obscura informed Todd that his crew was still missing and that the Great War and its battlegrounds were filled with phenomena just like this. Since then, Todd swore that he would work under Candela Obscura to find his crew and bring them back from wherever they might have gone. For any that watched the stream, I won't make any spoilers, but Augie James's Catalyst event was the event that happened in the very beginning of the stream. If you're interested or need some inspiration for your character, I suggest that you go to watch their VOD on their Twitch page or the YouTube video that they just posted. After the Catalyst, you must come up with a question that your character aims to answer during their work with Candela Obscura. What grand or personal mystery do they hope to answer throughout their investigations? With Todd's Catalyst, the question he wants to answer is, where is the rest of my crew, and how do I bring them back? Once all of that is done, you work with the other players of the group to come up with how you are all connected. These connections can be jotted down in the relationships section of the character sheet. Like, for example, Todd's first connection could be a player that was at Todd's reappearance and could be seen as his mentor with all things Candela Obscura. For that, I would put the character's name on the left and mentor on the right. Then you must collectively work together to pick a circle name, a circle ability, and your Candela Obscura resources that you will have available after each investigation. The 6 circle abilities that you can choose from in the Quick Start Guide are, first, Stamina Training, which allows your circle to have 3 gilded dice at the beginning of each assignment. You and your circle members can add these gilded die to any roll, though once you use them, they are expended until the next investigation. The next is Nobody Left Behind. Whenever a member of your circle takes a scar and drops incapacitated, if a player attempts to protect them or get them to safety, all of these rolls gain an additional die. Forged in Fire is the third ability. This one is seen in episode 1, called Trauma Bonding. When you help another circle member with a roll, should that circle member fail the roll, you both earn 1 drive point of your choice. Interdisciplinary. When choosing a new ability during the character advancement, once per campaign, each circle member can choose an ability from a different character role or specialty outside of their own to then add to their character. This means, as the explorer, I can pick the Prestige from the Magician and be able to teleport a short distance while taking a Mark of Bleed. Resource management. When your circle hits a milestone on the Illumination tracker, your circle gains back 1 Stitch, Refresh, or Train resource. And finally, One Last Run forces the circle to retire after filling their Illumination tracker one last time. When that happens, this character advancement allows everyone to take all 4 character advancement options for this last time, and there's more on this later. As for Candela Obscura's resources, when starting your circle, you begin with an amount of resource points equal to the number of circle members plus 1. These resources will not refresh until the Illumination tracker is completely filled. Between each assignment, you have the chance to use these resource points to clear your marks, refresh your drives and resistances, and train your character. Stitch heals all of one player's marks, Refresh fills all of one player's drives and resistances, and Train gives one player a single bonus die that can be used on any roll in the next session. So, what is the Illumination Tracker? Well, this is it. This is how you and your investigators level up in Candela Obscura. After each investigation, the players discuss 4 different questions. Did they contain or destroy a source of bleed? Did they provide comfort or support to those affected? Did they bring something of importance back to Candela Obscura to study? And for each of those first 3, if it's a yes, the circle will then add 1 illumination to their illumination tracker. After tallying those first 3 points, you now ask, did each player fulfill at least 1 of their illumination keys during the assignment? If none did, 0 illumination points are awarded. If some did, 2 illumination points are awarded. And if all players did, 4 illumination points are awarded. Every 7 illumination points equals a milestone, which are the 3 bolded circles. When a circle reaches the end of the illumination tracker, the sort of S-shaped figure at the top, they level up. For each advancement, the circle can choose a new circle ability, and then each character can choose 2 of the 4 options. Add 1 action point, add 2 drive points, take a new ability, or gild an additional action. Your Candela Obscura resources then refresh their resource points, and you're on to the next investigation. And with that, your Candela Obscura characters are ready for action. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like, and make sure to send this to your other players so they understand what they're getting themselves into when they're starting your game of Candela Obscura.